Welcome to our journey through the fascinating history of Australia. From the ancient stories of the first peoples to the dynamic and diverse nation it is today, Australia's history is a tale of resilience, innovation, and transformation. Australia's history begins with its first peoples, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities who have lived on the continent for over 65,000 years. Their deep connection to the land is expressed through Dreamtime stories which explain the origins of the world and their cultural practices. These communities developed complex societies, diverse languages, and advanced knowledge of astronomy, medicine, and navigation long before European settlers arrived. For example, the Brewarina fish traps, estimated to be over 40,000 years old, showcase sophisticated engineering and sustainable fishing practices. The arrival of Europeans in the 17th century marked a new chapter in Australia's history. Dutch navigator Willem Janszoon was the first recorded European to land in Australia in 1606, followed by other explorers like Dirk Hartog and Abel Tasman. However, it was British explorer Captain James Cook's voyage in 1770 that led to the establishment of a British penal colony in 1788 at Port Jackson, now Sydney. This colonization had profound impacts on indigenous communities, leading to displacement, conflict, and dramatic changes in their way of life. The early years of British settlement were challenging, with harsh conditions and conflicts with the indigenous populations. Convicts sent from Britain played a significant role in building the new colony's infrastructure. Despite the hardships, free settlers began to arrive, establishing farms, towns, and trade. The construction of notable structures like the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the influence of Governor Lachlan Macquarie, who implemented extensive public works programs, were instrumental in transforming the fledgling colony into a thriving settlement. The discovery of gold in the 1850s transformed Australia. The gold rush brought a wave of immigrants from around the world, leading to a population boom and economic prosperity. Cities like Melbourne and Sydney grew rapidly, and the influx of diverse cultures enriched Australian society. The wealth generated by gold also spurred advancements in infrastructure and industry, such as the development of railways and telegraph lines, facilitating better communication and transportation across the vast continent. On January 1st, 1901, Australia became a federated nation, uniting the 6 separate colonies into the Commonwealth of Australia. This period saw significant nation-building efforts, including the establishment of a democratic government, the creation of national institutions, and the development of Canberra as the capital city. The early 20th century also marked Australia's participation in World War I, which had a profound impact on its national identity. The Anzac spirit forged at Gallipoli became a cornerstone of Australian identity, symbolising courage and mateship. World War II was a turning point for Australia, with direct attacks on its soil by Japanese forces. The war effort accelerated industrialisation and fostered closer ties with the United States. In the post-war era, Australia experienced significant immigration, leading to rapid population growth and economic expansion. The Snowy Mountains scheme, one of the largest engineering projects in Australian history, exemplified the country's post-war development ambitions, providing hydroelectric power and irrigation water to the continent's arid regions. The latter half of the 20th century saw major social and cultural changes. The civil rights movement for Indigenous Australians gained momentum, culminating in the 1967 referendum that recognised them in the national census. The end of the White Australia policy in the 1970s opened the door to greater multiculturalism. Australia also emerged as a vibrant cultural hub, with contributions in arts, sports and science gaining international recognition. The Sydney Opera House, opened in 1973, became an iconic symbol of modern Australian culture. In recent decades, Australia has continued to evolve, grappling with issues such as climate change, environmental conservation, and Indigenous rights. The nation's rich biodiversity and unique ecosystems face significant challenges, but efforts are being made to protect and preserve them. On the global stage, Australia plays an active role in international affairs, trade, and environmental initiatives. The Uluru Statement from the Heart, calling for constitutional recognition and a voice to Parliament for Indigenous Australians, represents a significant step towards reconciliation. Australia's history is a dynamic and complex narrative of ancient cultures, colonial endeavours, economic booms, social transformations, and modern challenges. It is a story of resilience and adaptation, reflecting the diverse and vibrant character of its people. As Australia looks to the future, it continues to build on its rich heritage, striving towards a more inclusive, sustainable, and prosperous nation. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Australian history. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow history enthusiasts. Stay tuned for more explorations into the wonders of our world's past. Until next time, keep exploring and uncovering the mysteries that shape our understanding of history.